Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Paul up here, and today we have a coffee request. This one comes from Whiplash, and Whiplash says the following: We are still learning, but let's see how the whole 2025 season went in Formula One. So we're still learning about Formula One, and we're getting more into it. And guys, look at the thumbnail right here. This is how it supposedly went. We have Max Verstappen, we have Lando Norris, and we have three racers that we're going to learn their names now in the chat. Because I don't know them. As I said, we are learning. But let's go step by step. I hope you guys enjoy this, and let's go. How the 2025 Formula One season went.
The 2025 Formula One season! A year that has made every F1 fan go through all the human emotions, and so did every driver. They went through grief, happiness, regrets, redemption.
Oh, that's crazy. Hamilton is not on the thumbnail. What happened to Hamilton, guys? For him not to be in the thumbnail, that's crazy.
They went through grief, happiness, regrets, redemption, while some just went straight to the barriers. But those things have made F1 this year best described as a roller coaster. That, ladies and gentlemen, I've actually created one for this video, and I call it the Heart Attack Express.
By the way, this video is from the channel called Rick's F1 Addiction. Link is in the description. Wait, Brazil is there too? It's been a while since I haven't seen Brazilian Formula One.
Created one for this video, and I call it the Heart Attack Express.
Nice.
Recapping all 24 race weekends, and with no bullshitting, I'm just gonna get straight into it. The ride starts by climbing and climbing, because before the season even started, we already had 6 new rookies coming in, Hulkenberg to Sauber, Sainz to Williams, but as the coaster reaches the top, we have Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari, and this was hype. The pictures of Lewis and Maranello testing the car, him and Charles together, they were oozing
What
aura.
happened?
But let's not forget, they're wearing red. What's coming next is inevitable, because F1 in 2025 starts with Ferrari Disaster Class. F1's first race was finally back in the land down under, and when it started raining, almost
Shout out to
all the
Australia.
rookies crashed, while Ferrari said that Charles Leclerc's wet seats
must be the water.
And Lewis Hamilton's engineer was an annoying prick.
K1, may you close? K1 available.
Do you think what caused the seats to be wet was the water, guys? What do you think? Is that what caused the whole seats to be wet? It must be the water. What are you talking about? K1 counter. Dude, Ronaldo was there? Suey.
Engineer was an annoying prick.
No, he wasn't there.
Close. K1 available. K1 for practice.
If Ricardo Adami said that many Ks in another context, I'd think he was part of a clan with pointy hats. Going by the name of Rikeke Cardo Adami. He's known for ordering Lewis around. And McLaren also fumbled. Oscar almost DNF'd, but with his indomitable Aussie spirit, he pushed through. And as soon as F1's second race, China, Ni hao, Liam Lawson immediately fails to survive as Max Verstappen's teammate, while Ferrari receives a double DNF.
Why?
So the season was already off to a bad start for most people. Hadjar cried after a crash, and Carlos was in a Williams. And other teams continued to get cooked. Jack Doohan threw
in a Williams. What is that? He's in a Williams. What is it to pull a Williams? Is it to crash?
Carlos was in a Williams, and other teams continued to get cooked. Jack Doohan
is that reference to Senna?
F1 seat just a week later in Japan, making Alpine's total of 10 fans beyond depressed. But while that was happening, one man was cooking, and it was the pastry himself.
Oscar Piastri wins.
Oscar Piastri.
Grand Prix. Piastri powers by.
We just saw a video of Piastri.
Oscar Piastri wins. Oscar Piastri wins. The Australian is a Grand Prix winner.
Wow.
After Australia, Oscar won in...
Wait, was Oscar Piastri in the thumbnail? We saw a video, but he wasn't racing. He was answering a few questions.
China, Bahrain, Saudi.
China. I like how he says China.
After Australia, Oscar won in China, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, taking
Wow.
the championship lead in just his 3rd season, while Lando French kisses a wall. Then in
Oh,
Miami,
wow.
after Lando adds to his bottle collection, Oscar pulls stunning moves that I just had no words. But in Monaco, Lando claps back, winning with ease, while Charles
Dang.
was ready to turn him into Swiss cheese. And Alonso gets his 3rd DNF of the season. I don't really know how much more I can take.
Oh
Then
my
we had
gosh.
Spain, where
That's so dark. Guys, Alonso still races? I didn't know. I thought he had retired. I don't know. As I said, I've been out of the game for a long time. And speaking of Alonso, like I saw his car from, was it 2015? In an expo. Pretty cool to see an F1 right in person. In fact, I've got an F1 right here with me. Don't know if you guys saw that. What a beauty. And this is a Ferrari. Maybe not the best time to have one.
Oscar flied away, leaving Bottolo Norris to
Wow.
fend off Verstappen. And he thankfully did, since the RB21 is as fast as the RB19, if Zach Brown was sitting on it. But Max is still Mad Max, so when there was a
Nice.
safety car in lap 56, he got pitted for hards. And boy, he was so pissed that he almost bottles the restart.
Oh, wow.
And then decides to ram into George.
On
These two
purpose?
were already divorced gay parents in 2024, and now it looks like they're fighting for child custody. Who was the pregnant one? Don't even ask. But after Max's literal
What?
crash out, the season soon became Oscar versus Lando. The McLaren Civil War made the roller coaster swing left and right, and like a premature nut, Oscar
man.
versus Lando hit climax immediately in the next race, Canada, that no one still recognizes as Stroll's home race. I'm pretty sure Canadians don't want to claim him either, not even the
Wow.
polar bears. Sir, what do
Wow.
you think about Lance Stroll? Thank you, sir.
Wow.
In Canada,
Why? Why? And Canada, if you're watching, is that true? Shout out to the Canadians watching.
George won out of nowhere like usual. I'm telling you, Woody here can get a podium by just rubbing one out in his car instead of actually trying. But during the race, Oscar showed his racecraft fighting Lando, who then went for a gap that didn't exist, French kissing
Wow.
yet another wall. And off to the next race, Austria.
Seriously, I'm not a driver and I can see there is no gap there. There's no way you can fit a car there. Dang. And what is it with them trying to, overtake their own teammates?
Exist, French kissing yet another wall. And off to the next race, Austria, where Oscar got warned by his own team for risking an overtake on Lando.
Wow.
Feedback from the pit wall. We can't do that again.
And this was the beginning of McLaren's papaya rule drama.
The papaya rules worked.
Brakes, they're shit. I mean,
But before tensions worsened
What?
in McLaren, F1 headed to the UK. And from this
Nice.
point, the Heart Attack Express was looping and birds
Oh
are
my
hitting
gosh.
you straight in the face. In Silverstone, it started raining and it became exactly like Australia.
Wow.
Ferrari fumbled hard, all the rookies just fucking perished, and Oscar was
Dang.
about to win until he got a 10-second penalty for brake checking Verstappen, who then spun out of the race anyway, and
Wow.
everyone was losing it. But hold on a minute. Is that a green jelly bean in P4?
Stroll.
Nico Hulkenberg was one position away from a podium, and he overtook Stroll, denied Hamilton, and as Lando won the race, he crossed
Wow.
the line in P3. Nico Gothenburg finally got his first podium. This was the best part of the season. Try to change my mind and I'll smack the shit out of you. But next up was Belgium
Okay.
and the Heart Attack Express.
Hey, if you say so, I guess. I won't contest that. Dude, that is so ugly. Is that from the new Avatar? I haven't seen the new Avatar.
Change my mind and I'll smack the shit out of you. But next up was Belgium, and the Heart Attack Express is now going so fast that you just get flung to the gates of heaven. In the sprint, Oscar had the win, but then came Max Verstappen, who stole the lead. But since Oscar is a man that learns from his mistakes, which is why I call him Mr.
Thank you so much, Kadi, for the coffee request.
I understand it now. He remembered the move Max used in the sprint and pulled the same one on Lando in the race. But the week after in Hungary, Lando edged Oscar by just 7/10 for the win. However, Oscar strikes back again in the Dutch Grand Prix, earning a grand slam while Lando's engine shat itself and Isaac Hadjar got his first podium. And at this point, the championship was heading to Oscar. He had a 34-point lead on Lando. People were rejoicing.
I know what happens,
Before you think that the championship was just going to be between the two McLaren drivers, think again, because you can't forget the Lion himself. Throughout 2025, McLaren has had
What was that? What was that? Is that actually him?
The Lion himself. Throughout
No, that's not him,
2025, McLaren
right?
has had the superior car. Say otherwise, I'm also smacking the shit out of you. But even without the fastest car, Max was hunting. We're currently at race 15, Zandvoort, but let's move 12 races back to Japan, where Max stole pole, pressured Lando into touching grass, and won the race. Then in Saudi Arabia, he clings to second. In Miami, he was the reason Lando bottled his start. And in Imola, Max pulled the craziest move on Oscar, stealing his win.
That's insane.
But then Red Bull turned to bullshit. Max had a few mixed races, bad results in Monaco, Spain, a good one in Canada, DNF in Austria, and P5.
Let me be honest with you guys. When I saw that flag, the first time I reacted to Formula One, I was like, "Dang, Indonesia has a great a great F1 team," but that's actually Monaco. But can you blame me? It's the same flag, honestly. The only difference is that it's kind of like more of a square than a rectangle, but it's the same exact flag, I guess. And it's a different shade of red, I would say. Just sharing that.
Red Bull turned to bullshit. Max had a few in Austria and P5 in Silverstone. And if that wasn't stressful enough,
Dang,
a bomb
Max.
dropped. After Silverstone, Christian Horner got fired. And why? Well, Red Bull says it's poor performance, but I think it's either the stupid power struggles, Horner saying that Oscar is his ideal Max replacement, or him obviously not being able to keep his dick in.
Wait, what? I don't mind. Is that actually leaked? What the heck? Guys, Formula One is just a drama pool, isn't it? It's not only about the race. What is this? What is this? No, seriously, what is this?
His pants. So with Laurent Mekies now steering the Red Bull ship that's filled with 15 holes, Max was still doing mid. P4 in Belgium, P9 in Hungary, the RB21 was nowhere. Its pace was being held on.
Was that this year? No way. Was that this year?
P9 in Hungary,
That's a crazy
the RB21 was nowhere. Its pace was being held on by all the spirits of the team's second drivers.
I mean, last year,
Red Bull's
2025.
complicated management, it's quite fitting that today's sponsor is Odoo, a hassle-free management platform that helps your business work more efficiently and saves you money. Odoo has all the business.
Okay, we're
clicking
skipping
the top link or
the sponsors
scanning the QR
segment.
code. But now we're back to Zandvoort. Max finishes second, but he's still 104 points behind Oscar.
Dang,
So for him to win the
104
championship,
points.
he needs either a generational lock-in or for someone to have a generational
Thank you, Kadi, for the
choke.
coffee.
And Max got both of those things. Immediately in Monza,
No way. No way. No way he did that.
generational lock-in or for someone to have a generational choke. And Max got both of those things. Immediately
That's
in Monza,
impossible.
he locked in, won the race while Lando had a slow stop, which led to McLaren telling Oscar to swap positions with Lando, which made Oscar fans pissed.
So do you think McLaren is biased against Oscar Piastri and costing him the World Championship?
You're asking me for an opinion there.
What about you, Minister?
I definitely think he's cut some raw decisions this year. And
They were
Why-
convinced Zach Brown
Why is the minister talking about F1? Anyways, I've heard that people don't like Lando because of these tactics, right? These things. There's a whole discussion on that.
Decision this year.
They were convinced Zach Brown spends his free time sniffing Lando's meat.
the
And honestly, I can't even defend Zach on this one. Max's gap is now down to 94 points. And then Azerbaijan. Max wins again with Lando in P7 after he bottled qualifying. And Oscar turns into a literal pastry in the race, jump-starting, losing multiple places, and then crashes out. Gap down to 69.
What the heck?
Losing multiple places and then crashes out. Gap down to 69.
What happened there?
Lovely. And from this race, Oscar started struggling. The generational choke Max was praying for came true. Fast forward to Singapore. In lap 1, Oscar and Lando had an incident that pissed off Piastri that he cut off Zach's radio at the end of the race.
Yeah, but if he has to avoid another car by
This
crashing
video is
into his
pretty
teammate, then that's a
awesome.
free
Nicely
shit job of
edited.
avoiding.
1 hour later.
Wait, the commentators can swear on TV?
That he cut off Zach's radio at the end of the race.
Yeah, but if he has to avoid another car by crashing into his teammate, then that's a pretty shit job of avoiding.
1 hour
Oh,
later.
that's not okay.
Tough race. Thank you for.
Oh wow.
But McLaren still won the constructors, while Max finished ahead of both drivers, gap down to 63. And
That's
then
crazy.
came the US Grand Prix, a tipping point for Oscar. After all of the papaya rule bullshit he had to endure, Oscar said, fuck that. So in the sprint, he sends it, collides with Hulkenberg, and hits Lando in the process.
No
resulting
way.
in this beautiful McLaren
No way.
double DNF. And in the race, Max
No way, McLaren. Dude, what the heck was that? Oh my gosh. A double disqualification. And it's the same. This happens a lot, right? It happens frequently, I guess. Your teammates knocking you out. I've seen so many things talk about this, so it must happen a lot.
sends it, collides with Hulkenberg, and hits Lando in the process, resulting in this beautiful McLaren double DNF. And in the race, Max soared to the sunset with zero competition, gap down to 40. And then we had Mexico, then Brazil, where Oscar was still choking. But honestly, it's fine. It's only his third season. People always forget that. That's how good Oscar really is. However, F1 doesn't stop for anyone, so Max and Lando took full advantage of the choke.
Oh, that's AI,
in Mexico,
right?
Lando bagged the win, retaking the championship lead from Oscar, with Max finishing in P3, now only 36 points behind Lando. And then Brazil came, and this race was cinema, featuring Max Verstappen as the protagonist. And it starts with a wet sprint race where Oscar bottles again, so did other
Was this
drivers,
Interlagos?
and in the same corner, Max suffers a similar slip, but saves it like a fucking G. But then the plot thickens. Max gets P16 in qualifying, and to make things worse, he decides to swap engines starting in the pit lane, with Lando in P1. So all hope was lost. But this is Max Verstappen we're talking about.
Lights out and away we go. Piastri still keeping that fourth place.
Portoletto, the local hero, is stopped. He's in the barriers.
Nah, man. Oh my gosh. Is this F1 or is it Mario Kart?
At the same time, Max Verstappen makes a move on Lewis Hamilton. Verstappen pop himself up into now 9th place. Right there, Martin, into turn 1. Max Verstappen is up into the top 5, trying to make his way up into the top 3, and George Russell could be a bit vulnerable here. He's going to have to go round the outside, Verstappen, and does swoop round the outside.
Wow.
He knew exactly where he had to put his car. Russell made it hard. Verstappen made it look easy. Verstappen from the pit lane comes home to finish on the podium. What an effort from him.
This
That's
Stanley
insane.
Cup drinking gamer e-boy went from pit lane to P3 like it was another Sunday church sermon. But sadly for Max, Lando still won, so the gap increased to 4.
That's insane what he did right there. Dude, Max Verstappen is absolutely... Dude, I have no words.
Sunday church sermon. But sadly for Max, Lando still won, so the gap increased to 49 points. He could have gotten P2, but Kimi Tortellini defended too well. I can see why Toto treats him like his own child. But before we go forward, let's check up on Ferrari. Yeah, I think they're dead. 2025 has been tough for Ferrari. They got a double DNF in China over...
Dude, these memes, man. Oh, this is such a fun video.
2025 has been tough for Ferrari. They got a double DNF in China over an illegal car. Then in Zandvoort, Charles gets sniped by Kimi, while Lewis crashes by himself and starts saying that he's useless and a nightmare.
I'm just useless.
But that isn't obviously the case.
And the nail in the coffin for Lewis was...
So, do you guys think Lewis lost his confidence? Do you think he lost his self-esteem? Is that what's going on? He's in his head? I think so.
That isn't obviously the case.
And the nail in the coffin for Lewis was while he was having a nightmare of a season, Carlos in a Williams got a podium before him.
Wow.
As for Charles, well, those eyes never change. And while Max was on his Sao Paulo mission, Ferrari got another double DNF. Same exact process as Zandvoort. Charles gets killed by Kimi, Lewis kills himself.
One time is funny, 2 times is fucking annoying, no?
Like I mentioned before, the universe always finds ways to balance itself through Ferrari. 2024 was amazing for them, so what comes up must come down.
That's insane, man.
But Ferrari fans, this means that...
Okay, do you guys think it was a good move for Hamilton to go to Ferrari? Because I feel like it's a work in progress. Do you think it's going to be better, or is it just doesn't fit?
But Ferrari fans, this means that eventually it should be your year, guys. It's only delusional until it works, or it's only delusional until you off yourself. Right, guys?
Dude, come on.
Nothing? Alright. But now we can head to Vegas and Qatar, where the F1 roller coaster pulls you back from heaven and slams you on the ground. If you're a McLaren fan. McLaren has been disappointing throughout 2025. Slow stops, papaya rules, strategy bad enough to rival the Red Clowns. Sir, can you tell me what strategy we're using today? And these two races proved that McLaren still couldn't get past their midfield habits.
What a joke! What a joke!
To start, Vegas, where Lando adds another bottle to his collection, losing the lead to Max. However, McLaren then told him to start hunting.
You want me to get rest or try to take?
Overtaking. We're gonna go get Max.
We're gonna go get Max.
Yeah, never mind, he didn't hunt for shit. And then McLaren gets a double...
Plus 20 seconds, bro. We're gonna go get him. Dude.
Yeah, never mind, he didn't hunt for shit. And then McLaren gets a double DNF for running their cars too low, helping no one but Max, whose gap is now down to 24 points. And
why would they do that, though? Why so low? Oh, because you have better friction, right? Better, what you call it?
McLaren gets a double DNF for
but that's
running
too
their
low.
cars too low, helping no one but Max, whose gap is now down to 24 points. And Qatar was just as messy for the Papaya Fools.
Traction.
In lap 7,
Better traction.
Hülkenberg spun out, causing a safety car. But instead of pitting, McLaren stayed out for flexibility.
We should have just followed him in now.
They have lost all their flexibility for the remainder of the race.
No fucking way! So then Lando finished in P4, ahead of Kimi as he failed to cockblock Lando, while Oscar was frustrated with P2 knowing he could have won. But McLaren's biggest concern was Verstappen finishing first, who's now just 12 points behind Lando.
Wow.
So finally we reach the endgame. With all the stuff that happened throughout the season, no matter how much McLaren won, all roads led to Abu Dhabi. The championship was going to either of these three, with Lando needing a podium to be champion, while Max and Oscar need both a win and for Lando to bottle again. And as the lights went out, everybody's shivers were timbering. Max got the launch of his dreams, while Lando tries to survive, but a few corners later, Piastri swoops round the outside.
So close.
And then Charles was hunting after Lando every other lap, risking his podium. But like usual, the hunter fails to hunt. However, the tension continues as he goes for a pit stop, comes out, and has to pass Yuki Tsunoda that was ready to pull the greatest defense of all time. And it's already fucking over. God damn it. Perez, perhaps I treated you too harshly. And as laps went by, position stayed the same, so Max won the race, Oscar finished second, and Lando was third, crowning him as F1's 2025 world champion. A brilliant...
No way. So if Lando hadn't gotten the podium, it would be Max Verstappen once again.
Won the race, Oscar finished second, and Lando was third, crowning him
insane.
as F1's 2025 world champion. A brilliant drive, truly showing his capabilities, recovering from all
What an
the
endgame.
Oh, hell no! However, Lando's championship...
Any of those three could have won. So Max Verstappen got first place, but Oscar could have gotten first place. But the thing was that if Lando had to choke, they all got a podium. That's insane. What an endgame.
Bottles. Oh, hell no! However, Lando's championship felt a little off because there were still so many people that hated him, whether it's over papaya rules or his actions, and it doesn't help when his own dad said this after he won.
And no one remembers. I was trying to think. I don't remember who came second because they're real, or maybe they did.
Like the guy who came second isn't remembered? Who? Like your son in 2024? Zero class for a man of your net worth. I'll be honest here.
What is his net worth? What is his net worth? I feel like you gotta be rich if you're in the F1, right? Because it's such an expensive sport. Was his dad a racer too? What did his dad do?
Zero class for a man of your net worth. I'll be honest here, even I personally preferred Oscar or Max to win, but I won't dog on Lando's title. We can't stoop down to the level of Team LH or Adam Norris. We are haters, but we're professionals. But to end on a good note, I want to list down gifts I'd give all the F1 people this season, starting with Lando, who's getting a 12-pack bottle carrier. Oscar is getting a How to Stop Choking ebook and a photo of his father Charles. As for Max, I'll give him a dinosaur, since he was the Jurassic Park T-Rex chasing McLaren.
Must go faster.
Is that a real video of him?
Hulkenberg is getting a goat, need I say more? All the rookies are getting a warm hug from Santa. They all had their special moments. Lewis is getting antidepressants, gifted from Charles, while Waffle Brown gets the Cringe of the Year award for this radio message.
Is this the World Champion Hotline?
Shut your fucking mouth! And lastly, MBS, Mild Bowel Syndrome, the FIA president, gets Creep of the Year, as he literally rubbed Lando's hair 5 times like it's a fucking genie pot every time he sees him. Oh, Lando, I wish that everybody would pay attention to me this year. Shut the fuck up. Get the fuck out of here, you little fucking gerbil. Like, this dude is so weird that there are literal F1 team bosses who have been to Epstein's Island, and yet MBS somehow looks creepier. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The 2025 season summarized. This year has been an amazing journey. Honestly, this channel started as a dumb project that I never expected to grow, but hey, I'm not complaining. So congrats to Max, Lando, Oscar for putting quite the championship fight, and obviously people will still debate on this championship, like if Lando didn't DNF or if Oscar didn't give back positions. But remember guys, it's racing. You can't use hypotheticals. Quoting from the man himself,
if my mom had balls, she would be my dad, so...
Oh my gosh, he actually said that.
You are now race leader.
The checkered flag first. Oscar Piastri wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Lando Norris is the Formula One world champion.
Dude, I remember when who was him? I forgot his name, but he's an Italian chef. He said, if my grandmother had wheels, she'd be a bike. That's kind of the same joke. But dude, what a season. I think you guys were entertained. I think you were probably entertained. And it was probably the Formula One that entertained you. Just like it was probably the water that got the seats wet. No, honestly, or maybe it was the drama, but Formula One is actually much more exciting now that I'm getting more into it. And, you know, now that we're actually, take a look at that. We're getting a McLaren. Don't worry. For Ferrari, it's not doing so well. So we're getting a McLaren. But anyways, it feels so much more like fun. And actually, it's great that you guys are teaching me about Formula One. And now that I know a little bit more about it, and you know, just seeing the highlights and just understanding how the whole system works, you know, getting into that is pretty cool. It's probably the water. It's such a legendary comment, indeed. Yeah. It's pretty nice to see how things can change. And this was so close. Is it normally that close? Or was this just an epic 2025 moment that is rarely seen? Because it was so close. It was really up to the last race. Which is interesting because when it comes to other sports like football or basketball, any of the two playing can win. So the stakes are high for that last thing. But in Formula One, you might see the winner a few races before it happens, right? That's kind of like a league football as well, right? When it comes to points. That's interesting. But anyways, this was really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I hope you guys are enjoying this channel. The whole concept is learning and exploring. It's more of educational sports. And thank you so much for having the patience to teach me. So thank you, Whiplash, for supporting. I had a lot of fun with this video. That was pretty cool. You can go check out the original in the description. And I'll see you on the next one. If you want to request a video like Whiplash did, go over to Buy Me Coffee. The link is in the pinned comments. And I'll see you guys soon. Let me know what you thought. Take care. Bye-bye.